people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 4 of Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. Last time, we arrived in the Agon Wastes, where we made our way over to the Agon Temple, fought the Ing that stole Samus's Morph Ball bombs, and were told by this dead Luminoth through a hologram that basically, oh, you gotta go to Dark Agon, go into the temple, and seal back the energy. So anyways, as you can tell, this game is very Legend of Zelda-esque, where basically you gotta go around, go to the different regions, go to the temple, steal back the energy, and then basically just head on out and repeat the cycle. Which I like. I really do like this whole feature where I would say that if Metroid Prime 1 was about, say, 90% exploration, 10% story, I would say that this game is close to a good 50-50 split. So anyways, let's get going. But yeah, I just love how I'm turning Umos into basically this crime lord of the Luminoth. You cannot trust Umos. You cannot trust him, basically. Samus, after this whole thing goes on, she basically accesses the Metroid Universe's version of the internet, and she just sees footage of just her breathing in her suit, basically. And she finds out that Umos has been just using spy software from the energy module to just upload it to the web, make money on it. That's right, Samus. I am profiting off of your breathing. I am posting it. The space pirates love it, and they transfer their wealth to me, which I use to buy belt buckles. Lots and lots of belt buckles. But you don't even wear a belt. Exactly. That is what wealth is all about, buying pointless stuff you don't need. It's extravagance, something that you would never understand, something that us Luminoth have learned. Yeah, the thought of basically that being the whole reason why basically the Ing have not taken down Umos. They have a perfect chance to steal the last of Aether's energy, basically, but they want nothing to do with Umos, so they're like, screw it, we're not going there. That's where Umos is. You fools, you're not trapped. I'm not trapped here with you. You're trapped here with me. Now I'm going to sell you. Through vigilance and strength, we create peace. Says the race that pretty much got wiped out by the Ing. So anyways, heading here, and missile expansion. Okay, anyways, we're not going to be seeing any collectibles for a bit, so let's get going. So anyways, yeah, we're going to want to head over, not the energy controller. Yeah, we can't do anything to the right, not yet. Okay, sorry, yeah, we can't go over there just yet because we need the double jump. So anyways, basically, I would say that this area, even though it is reminiscent of a Legend of Zelda game where basically you're going around, you're trying to collect keys and the like. It still contains that Metroid charm where basically you're still actively exploring. It's just that each area does feel like its own sort of mini world. So anyways, let's go down here and get another energy tank. Okay, so anyways, let's get going. Yeah, just Umos. Just Umos being the grand source of all suffering in the Metroid universe, basically. Umos being this grand strategist where everything is according to his machinations and design. You remember what Adam did in Metroid Other M? That was me, Samus. I was behind that. I whispered in Adam's ear how you should be limited, because it amuses me so, Samus. Okay, saving Aether. Aether's planetary energy supply reached a critical stage. If left unchecked, the energy would expire, bringing an end to the world. Our greatest minds devised a way to preserve and regulate the remaining planetary energy. The energy controllers. Okay, so anyways, let's get going. So, Samus, what are you doing? Why are you going into that tube? Okay, so anyways, as you can see, just pretty much the grand bulk of everything we now have a good map of Aether. Not Aether, Agon. Yeah, you can see just a lot of things going on there. We can't do anything with these side chambers yet, unfortunately. Yeah, as you can see, basically P's represent portals. And if you spend long enough not knowing where you're going, the game will basically just hint and say, hey, dummy, you need to go this way. But yeah, it is nice having basically a full map, so that way we can basically just explore around, see what's going on here. Head up to other areas. Yeah, unfortunately we just can't get up there yet. It's so nice. It feels kind of limiting when you don't have your space jump. Okay, so anyways, we gotta make our way back to the portal room. That's where we're gonna find our way forward. Okay, yeah, we can't go to the transport center yet. Yeah, gotta go to that door up there. Yeah, but like I said, just the hint system in this game is actually pretty generous. When I first played this game, there were plenty of times when I got lost, and there are a few moments in this game that can throw you for a loop, especially towards the end. But like I said, the game is very nice with giving you hints, like, hey, just go here. More so than the first Metroid Prime game, which I am fine with, because basically, the game does give you a pretty generous time limit before it just shows you the hint of just, hey, go here. Okay. Yeah, but thankfully you get the space jump pretty quickly, all things considered. Luminoth lore translate, the stellar object. By the time we detected the stellar object as it streaked towards our world, it was too late to stop it. We fired numerous weapons at it in a vain attempt to alter its trajectory. Nothing worked. Our efforts placed a great strain on the energy controllers and weakened Aether. All we could do as the object drew closer was take shelter and wait. We gathered stores of food and water, reinforced the shielding in our dwellings, and spent the last hours in peace. For some reason, our weapons lacked power. Which we then discovered was caused by Umos trying to basically route it to his gamer rig. I regret nothing. Screw you. Have you ever tried to play games in high resolution nowadays? You need all of the planetary energy for that. I would trade you all for no lag. I would sell all of you down the river for a lack of lag. For that is the way of Umos. Boom. Bring it on. Bring it on, Fancy Feast. And yeah, that's right. The space pirates aren't even safe against the Ing. Morphology, Dark Pirate Trooper, Darkling Possessed Space Pirate. Enhanced strength and stamina gained it from a dish of symbiote. Dislikes bright light. Pirate Troopers, already trained to follow orders without question, were perfect candidates for possession. Darklings moved to take every trooper they could, expanding the army of the Horde considerably. Space pirate technology struck a chord with the Ing, who now hunt actively for gadgetry of any kind, especially weapon systems. Kind of funny how basically the Ing didn't try to just form an alliance with the space pirates, you know? Yeah, as you can see, the Ing are definitely more powerful when the space pirates are definitely more powerful with the Ing. Yeah, though thankfully we will be getting a way to deal with these sort of enemies much more efficiently soon enough. Okay, Light of Aether. The main energy controller was built in the Great Temple. 3 sub-controllers were built in the temples of Torvis, Agon, and Sanctuary. They connected the energy of Aether, then radiated it over the world to all who needed it. In time, we came to call this precious energy the Light of Aether. It brought an age of peace and prosperity to the Luminoth, except one, who sought to use it to his own advantage in order to scam us all. Okay, so anyways, let's get going. Yeah, gotta love how the game's like, you pressed the bomb button! You pressed the bomb! You did it! You did the most basic morph ball command! We're proud of you! It's like how in the Legend of Zelda series, when you step on a switch and you get the jingle, you know? I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the jingle, but I mean, sometimes I want to earn the jingle, you know? I want to feel like I put in the work and got the jingle as a reward, you know? Okay, so anyways. Yeah, gotta love how the Ing, basically, these destructive, ruthless creatures, they look at the war wasps and they're like, hey, we may be evil, diabolical creatures, but damn it, we have standards. Okay, so anyways, destroy that. And as you can see, we now have access to Dark Aether. Our first portal. Technically our second if you count the one that Samus's counterpart went in. I'm not gonna spoil it. It was Dark Samus. You got Dark Link, you got Dark Samus. And Samus like, oh no, I'm not, yeah, and just Samus, no delays going in there. It's like, you know, last time I went in there, it didn't end well for me, but it can't be that bad second time. And then Thomas gets jumped again. She just loses she just has to go zero suit. Every time I go in here, I get mugged. No, but yeah, Thomas goes in there. Hello, Samus. Umos, what are you doing here? I'm here to mug you. Boom, Umos hits Samus in the head with a lead pipe, steals all her stuff. F you, Umos. F you. So anyways, if you want to leave, you can basically just trigger the portal and you're out. Yeah, as you can see, the atmosphere is hazardous to Samus's health. Especially at this point. Yeah, basically, that's an understatement. As long as you're in one of these, in these save zones, you will be good. Basically. In fact, you'll actually be healed a little. Blade Pod, living storage units of the Ing Horde. These Ing morph their bodies around useful items to protect them. They rely on larger Ing for protection. These Ing morph their bodies around useful items to protect them. They rely on larger Ing for protection, as they have no way to fend off enemies. Damage from all weapons will harm them, but light-based weapons are superior. Yeah, basically, these things are essentially storage devices. However, they also count as enemies, which is going to be very useful later on. Anyways, now that we have access to Dark Aether, we can now basically swap between the two worlds. In fact, basically, pretty much every room in Light Aether will have a dark counterpart. So anyways, go out here. As you can see, Samus's energy drains fast. So at this point, we are going to be very reliant on these crystals. Xenotech, Luminoth Light Crystal, generates protective field of light energy. Light crystals provide protection from Dark Aether's atmosphere. They can be nullified by dark energy and supercharged by light energy. Light crystals provide protection from Dark Aether's atmosphere. They can be nullified by dark energy and supercharged by light energy. They were created by the Luminoth during their war with the Aang, and many still remain in use. Dark creatures despise the crystals. Some are injured or killed by the field they create. Anyways, this right here. Xenotech, Luminoth Light Beacon, generates protective field when energized. Light beacons must be energized by beam weapons fire to function, and remain charged for a limited time. Light beacons must be energized by beam weapon fire to function, and remain charged for a limited time. The beacons were created when the Luminoth ran short on light crystals during the war, i.e. they got cheap. Yeah, they had to do it after Umo sold the crystals for $5. While simpler to make, the beacons were also unstable. They had to be energized periodically and could run out of energy at critical moments. Still, any protection was better than none for the Luminoth warriors. So basically, fire. Save zones don't last forever! So anyways, activate this. And as you can see, it also activated in Light Aether. So anyways, these enemies right here. Inglet, worker drone of the Ing Horde. Wall-crawling, morphing bioform, strongly dislikes bright light. Inglets perform the menial labor of the Horde, but can be pressed into a combat role if there is a need. They are amorphous blobs, capable of clinging to nearly any surface. Inglets can fire bursts of dark matter in self-defense, though they would prefer to avoid battle. They seldom travel alone and can be dangerous in large numbers. As with all Ing, they dislike bright light and will avoid it if possible. Basically, these Inglets, even though you can't scan them well in their blob form, you can still blast them. Yeah, in a lot of ways, the Ing remind me of the Apanoth from Star Fox Assault. You know, basically, they both have a purple color scheme, and they can possess beings. Okay, welcome to Save Station 2. Yeah, though anyways, as you can see, basically, you can actually heal up, you can actually reliably heal in Dark Aether, which is pretty nice. In fact, basically, as the game progresses, Dark Aether is actually going to become technically safer than Light Aether in a lot of ways. Okay, dueling range. I'm sorry, I just need to check something. Actually, you know what? According to my notes, it would be a good idea for us to head back and check out that room that we just unlocked. Night Barb, flying airborne hunters native to Dark Aether. Targets are small but travel in large numbers for safety. Avoid contact. Night Barbs are small airborne darklings, smaller and weaker than a hunter ing. A Night Barb will travel within a large pack to increase its odds of survival. This is why, since their primary predators are hunter ing. Which, it's kind of fascinating, considering that basically you would think that all of the ing basically are part of the same team, where they're all working to the same goal. Meanwhile, basically, the ing are pretty much just like any other animals, you know? Okay, come on. Yeah, don't be afraid to heal up when needed. Ah, come on, no. Yeah, thankfully, you only really have to deal with this sort of behavior on... Oh, right, we actually have to basically get out of here. Okay, go. As you can see, we can't really do much there. Heck, we can't even leave the area. Yeah, but don't worry, we'll be out. We'll be back. Yeah, don't be afraid to use the save station's ability to heal to your advantage. Okay. Nice of the ing to have save stations. Okay. Let's go over here. Yeah, just Samus. I did not sign up for this! It's searing! It's so painful! And that right there is a hunter ing. Warrior ing. Soldier of the ing horde. Shape-shifting wall crawler. Dangerous combatant in melee and at range. Dislikes bright light. Warrior ing are challenging foes. They can render themselves into amorphous puddles and move over most terrain, including walls. Warrior ing can turn their bodies into deadly projectiles sheathed in dark energy. The tips of their legs are razor sharp, making them formidable in melee. Finally, Warrior ing are capable of channeling transdimensional energy and firing at their enemies. Their only real weakness is bright, pure light, which they hate and fear. Basically, Warrior ing, they are pretty formidable. Just like the inglets, you can basically just fire at them. Yeah, when fighting these guys, try to stay in the light. That way they can't really reach you all that well. But yeah, but they are semi-resistant to your standard attacks. Okay, so anyways, we got another one of those black doors that we really can't do anything with. There's a blast shield in the door blocking access. Analysis indicates that the blast shield is invulnerable to most weapons. Dark energy may damage it. Yes, use a dark energy door in Dark Aether. The Luminoth were truly visionaries. No, that was Umos, basically. The Ing paid him. Okay, yeah, I'm active portal. Lightbringer. Light Gathering Forager. Creature generates safe zone while living. Immune to most forms of attack. Lightbringers were created by the Luminoth for use in their war with the Ing. The crystalline creature generates a field of life-giving energy at all times, and they can be energized like a safe zone crystal. They are immune to most weapon fire. Only a burst of matter-antimatter can destroy them. Though frankly, you don't want to destroy them. Yeah, I say as it's pushing me into the void. Anyways, as you can see, there is a light portal that we can't reach. But even if we could reach it, we couldn't really interface with it. Come on, okay. Yes, I am aware of the time clock. I am very much aware. I'm not going to end it in the middle of a random room. Okay, but let's just take this time to heal up. Yeah, basically, I would say that this is arguably one of the weakest parts of the game. Just this moment right here, where basically your first experience with Dark Aether, basically in the Dark Agon Wastes, where basically this area is designed to just teach you several things. Basically, 1, light crystals are your friends. 2, Dark Aether can be a pain in the ass, at least for now. But as the game progresses, basically, as you get more energy tanks and as you get more gear, just Dark Aether does become a lot friendlier. As I said before, believe it or not, Dark Aether actually becomes safer than regular Aether by the end of the game. Okay, let's wait until it's at least 40 or so. Yeah, basically, this part right here, it's more or less just used to just get you familiar with Dark Aether in a relatively safe environment. They give you a nice save point. Yeah, but anyways, as you can see, we're actually starting to reach basically the Dark Aether version of the temple. Yeah, as you can see, it's right over here. But, as we were told by the Luminoth before, yeah, we really can't do anything there. Yeah, we need the spider ball in order to interact with that. Anyways, get ready for a boss. A very nice boss. You know why this is a nice boss? The Jump Guardian. Jump Guardian, Space Jump Powered Warrior Ing. Powerful metamorph with enhanced jump abilities, able to generate attack, energy shockwaves, and force fields. This Warrior Ing has absorbed the power of the Space Jump Boots. It can leap incredible distances and heights and use this ability to great effect in battle. Target can generate powerful shockwaves of dark energy and will sheath itself in a potent force field to protect itself. It cannot maintain the shield indefinitely. Concentrate weapon fire on it when the shield is down. Basically, blast it. Thankfully, you can stick to this energy area. Yep. Ironically enough, this thing would be easier to fight with basically the space jump. Yeah, come on. Yeah, thankfully, like I said, the game is kind enough to let you just stay in this area. As long as you stay in basically this force field, you will be safe. Okay, anyways, Jump Guardian, pretty straightforward. Okay, come on. And one more hit and we're good. Now, come on. Now, come on. Die! This thing knows what it's doing. There. Ultra energy unit, 100 energy units. And with that, we are good. Oh, beautiful, beautiful space jump. You have returned to us. Oh, just so nice. Yeah, thankfully the effects of Dark Aether's atmosphere don't impact you until after waiting a few seconds. Yeah, because imagine, you double jump outside the shield, and then all of a sudden, just boom, you're getting hit. But anyways, on that note, I think that now would be a good time to end things off. Anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer, and I hope you come back for the next one. Like this video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do as they want, and with that, I'll see you next time. Bye.